Guys, vote for whoever you want, but shut the fuck up about Donald Trump being worse on Palestine.
Past weekend, Donald Trump said that he wants to, quote, just clean out Gaza and move the Palestinian people to nations like Jordan and Egypt.
And I'd like Egypt to take people, and I'd like Jordan to take people. You're talking about probably 1.5 million people.
Is that President Trump saying that he would like to see Jordan, Egypt, and other Arab nations increase the number of Palestinian refugees they are accepting.
It's breaking news. They want to send all Palestinians out of Gaza and send them all to Jordan and Egypt under the pretense as an excuse to rebuild the entire Gaza Strip.
All right, let me tell you guys about the Sinai solution. On October 24th of this year, documents leaked from Israeli intelligence from a minister named Gila Gamliel detailing a plan to expel all Palestinians from the Gaza Strip and settle them into the Sinai Desert, which is a part of Egypt. The Sinai solution has 3 steps. The first, putting tents in the Sinai Desert to send the Palestinians to live in. Step 2, expelling the Palestinians from the Gaza Strip with whatever means necessary, whether that be non-violently or violently. Step 3, establishing a so-called sterile zone between the Sinai Desert and the southern Israel border.
I was stunned by the Associated Press reporting of the quote that we just heard Donald Trump saying in sound. He described is ethnic cleansing, right?
Absolutely. Instead of saying that maybe Palestinians, if they have to leave Gaza, should be able to go back to the places they're from, because most of their families were expelled from Israel, his solution, after the United States has helped Israel lay waste to Gaza, is that those people should be forced to leave and never allowed to return.
Donald Trump, the other thing he did is he lifted the pause on 2,000-pound bombs. Biden only let them get the 1,700-pound bombs. He had banned the 2,000-pound ones. He also ordered a halt to virtually all foreign aid except Israel and Egypt. So that's for those who voted for Trump as the preferable candidate for Palestinian freedom. Here is the reaction of Bezalel Smotrich and Itamar Ben-Gvir. While the Israeli Prime Minister's office is yet to respond to NBC News' request for comment regarding Trump's remarks, the president's sentiments were welcomed by ultra-nationalist Israeli politicians, including the aforementioned Smotrich and Ben-Gvir. Smotrich called the idea of finding new homes for Gaza residents wonderful, telling Israeli broadcaster Channel 12 on Sunday that only out-of-the-box thinking and new solutions will bring peace and security. Ben-Gvir congratulated Trump on his initiative on a post on X Twitter. So the two people who the ICC views as potentially war criminals as well, are at least supporting it. They love this idea.
Right, and there was actually reporting from early, not long after October 7th, that Benjamin Netanyahu himself was trying to get Egypt to open the border so that there would be a mass forcing Palestinians out of Gaza, and they would not be allowed to return. I mean, Israel's never allowed Palestinian refugees who were expelled to return, so there's no reason to believe it would allow them to now, right? This is utterly monstrous, utterly depraved, and just a sign of how profoundly racist and dehumanizing the American public discourse, especially in the Republican Party, is about Palestinians, as if they're not human beings who are deserving of equal dignity to all the rest of them.
States don't have a right to exist. People do, because a question that people will come right back to if anyone criticizes the Israeli government, no matter what they do, is does Israel have a right to exist? And you say that states do not. Please explain.
In Jewish tradition, we believe that only human beings are created in the image of God and have infinite value. States are merely instruments. They are mechanisms for the protection of human life. And so if states fail radically at protecting human life, then states should be reformed, reimagined to do a better job, right? When people always say Israel has a right to exist, what they're essentially saying is its right to exist trumps the right to exist of all of the people under its control, half of whom are Palestinian. That inverts actually the way Jewish tradition thinks about what fundamentally matters.
You know, it's interesting because the many Jewish supporters of Palestinian humanity try to make that point all the time, and even they get demonized by people like Benjamin Netanyahu.
I am voting for Dr. Jill Stein.
Dr. Stein, you have my vote.
Days before the presidential election in the U.S., the Abandon Harris campaign is rallying support for Green Party candidate Jill Stein, who they support because of her anti-war stance and commitment to advocating for an immediate ceasefire in Palestine's Gaza. However, the Abandon Harris campaign argues,
by voting for Jill Stein, we are showing that there is a change. Change can come.
If you don't want to vote for Jill, vote for Donald Trump. But do not give a vote to Kamala Harris.
Ania Al-Masri. I live in North Carolina and I'm here visiting Michigan.
Why are you here in this event today?
To push the swing state of Michigan not to vote for Kamala Harris and to vote for Jill Stein. The issue is that Michigan has an effect on the entire country. If in Michigan, where we have the largest concentration of Arab Americans, Kamala Harris still wins, then it would be a defeat for all of us. To encourage everyone we know in Michigan to vote against Kamala Harris as step one, and step two, so that we can count our votes, we need those votes to go for Jill Stein.
And, you know, the whole, oh, if you vote for Stein, then you're voting for Trump. No, that's not true. If you vote for Jill Stein, you're voting for Jill Stein, okay? So whoever wins, if it's one of the two, whatever, that's not my problem.
Trump was saying, he said at a rally, Jill Stein, I like her very much. You know why? She takes 100% from them. Donald Trump seems to like your candidacy. Steve Bannon has said the same thing. Why? Into the Associated Press just last week, Jefferson Thomas, a longtime Republican Party operative from Colorado, submitted petition signatures that his GOP law firm gathered on behalf of your campaign in New Hampshire. Republicans are cynically working to get you on the ballot. Moving the Republicans is not just Republicans saying you're helping Republicans. You yourself seem to endorse that message, Jill Stein, over the weekend. You liked to comment on Instagram which said, and I quote, "The Dems need to be stopped. Either vote for Trump, or if you can't, then vote Green."
We're voting for Trump. And that's the sentiment, not just of an 8-year-old, but of an entire community.
Those Arabs who voted for Trump again, I say Mabruk, congratulations. Congratulations for voting, because you're going to meet him in Nar. Hell will be your abode.
Bad news for Palestinian supporters. Donald Trump wants to empty out Gaza completely and send all of its citizens to Jordan and Egypt, which pretty much means Gaza would then be wiped off the map. This comes 24 hours after we found out that Trump also is now going to give 2,000-pound bombs to Israel. Those are very big bombs, bombs that President Biden had said he would not give to Israel as punishment for what they were doing in Gaza, which brings us to the larger question of, gosh, is it possible Donald Trump could be worse for Gaza than Joe Biden? Why, yes, it is. And many of us told you it would be. That didn't stop student activists around the country from telling everyone not to vote for Kamala Harris. And it didn't stop Arabs in Michigan, Arab Americans, from actually supporting Donald Trump and holding press conferences supporting him because, get this, Trump promised he was going to be good to them. Oops. He's not being good to you. But again, I laugh. It's not funny, but I laugh because all of us knew this going in.
Who didn't vote for Harris because of the ceasefire? Or voted for Jill Stein? Or didn't vote at all? Fuck you. We told you this would happen. Are you happy? Is this what you wanted? Are you happy now? Fuck you.
And ultimately, I remain committed to a path forward that can lead to a two-state solution. A two-state solution is the only path, and one that ensures Palestinians can finally realize the freedom, security, and prosperity that they rightly deserve.
Kamala Harris is looking real good now, huh? I said Kamala Harris is looking real good now, huh? All you motherfuckers who voted for this man, we sat here, we told you, we warned you, we even put it in your face and tried to fucking remind you.
Y'all wanted to play the fuck around game so goddamn badly. Well, you are fixing to find out very bigly.